Welcome, everybody. Happy Lonely Friday night. Welcome to Sam Roberts Now. Yes, if you're watching live, we are coming to you an hour earlier than usual. That's just for this week. But if you're not watching live, which many of you will not be, it couldn't matter less. But you know what does matter? The question of the night: how lonely are we? Let's find out how lonely we are, ladies and gentlemen. Hot dog!
Look at that.
Here.
Who would have thought that I would be here tonight on this special preemptive edition of Sam Roberts Now?
Preemptive? What are we preempting?
We've been preempted, I guess. Why are we here so early?
I mean, I guess, no, that's a good, but I just never have heard a show refer to itself as preemptive. Like, that's not what that word means. Preemptive. Well, regardless, go ahead. I mean, if you had an explanation.
I was like, you let us know what show bumped us.
Oh, I get. Okay, no, all right. Well, welcome is the point. Welcome to Sam Roberts Now. And what a time, huh? We did well last week. If you missed last week's show, of course you shouldn't have. If you're liking and subscribing and doing all that, you would know. Did you watch Hot Dog, the Succession finale? Did we see it?
I didn't make it in time. I've just gotten to the point where I'm sending a bunch of Roman gifts to my friends because I get it, but I'm not anywhere near the finale.
And have you discovered that your friends were wrong, that this is not a slow-moving show?
It's a fun show.
It's great. And I will, then I'll let you get to the finale. But for what it's worth, go back, watch my breakdown of all the characters, who should win Succession, why, and who couldn't be the boss and why. And just recognize that, you know, your boy can't just fantasy book wrestling well, okay? I was pretty good with what I said last week. Pretty good.
But I will say I did spoil myself already.
Well, you spoil yourself every week just by giving yourself the company of me.
No, but it's embarrassing. Like I really wanted to fit in. No. So I looked up Succession finale ending explained videos.
Oh my God, you didn't just I thought you were going to say you looked up the ending. You looked up ending explained so you could not only talk about the ending but the context.
So yeah, because I wanted to know what everyone was crazy about. I wanted to, you know, just in case you and Travis are chopping it up, I can get in there. Oh man, I can't believe that happened.
Did you trick anybody? I also wanted to follow. Did you trick anybody?
No, because most of my friends aren't watching it. But I was following along on Twitter, and I was getting all the gifs and all the memes and all that. I couldn't hold myself in. So you watched Succession series ending finale explained.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I get it.
So then
I'm right there with you.
So you know the ending then?
I do know the ending.
So, I mean, I was pretty right on the money.
You were right on the money. That's what I want to tell you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. All these people are running around. Oh, it's going to be Cousin Greg. How?
He's a doofus. He almost fucked himself over.
Come on. Just in case says Succession is bandwagon trash. And his theory on it being, like, I would argue, like, oh, come on, that's not true. It's not bandwagon trash. And then you being like, well, I didn't watch all the episodes, but I did watch the cliff notes of the series finale so I could talk to my friends about it, does lend to his theory that it's bandwagon trash.
I mean, well, no,
he's literally
of anything.
That's okay. That's true.
Causation, correlation, that whole thing, right? It doesn't equal the other.
No, yeah. By your definition, anything popular is bandwagon trash. Because if it's popular, you're looking up what
I'm on it,
and you're not only are you on it, you're looking up what the general opinion of it is, and you're matching.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good for you. Good for you.
Logan Paul. Hey, Logan Paul's Succession. What does he think?
Yeah, I haven't seen any Twitter threads that Logan Paul has dropped about this. I love that that's your thought leader.
That's where I went to
Logan
first.
Paul. Of all people. Then, of course, we got the great news, which I think next week we'll probably get into this a little bit deeper. Black Mirror is coming back. Hot Dog, do we watch Black Mirror?
I do watch Black Mirror.
Okay. Have you seen them all?
I think so. There might be maybe a couple episodes sprinkled in that I haven't seen because I never watched it chronologically. I
Sure.
always kind of just jumped around.
Right, because Netflix got Black Mirror and they got I think the third season might have been the first Netflix season, and so they got them all season 1, 2, and 3 all kind of in one fell swoop. So us here in the States, we were able to kind of start picking and choosing in the beginning, and then when the newer seasons came out, you watched them in order. But yeah, they don't matter. Now there's good news and bad news here, potentially, right?
More pig fucking.
Well, that's what I'm hoping for. That's what we're all hoping for. That's why.
Yeah.
That's what got most of the people that I talked to. That was the first episode they watched of the show. So again,
we got them hooked.
That's what people want to see on television. I gotta watch more episodes.
Gotta get the people what they want.
That's it. It's gross, disgusting. Season 6 is dropping on June 15th. Now, the good news is we're getting 5 new episodes, okay? Which is more than, remember, we had Bandersnatch or whatever that thing was called, where it was the Pick Your Own Adventure movie that was kind of a standalone.
It was interesting.
Interesting is the right word for it. And then last season was only 3 episodes. Season 5 was the 3 episodes. It was the Miley Cyrus episode. It was the hot dog episode with the video games. And it was the Uber episode.
Striking Vipers, my favorite game.
You love that, yeah. And it was...
Let's load it up afterwards, Sam.
Sam, you want to play? No, dude. No. No. Hot dog knows for whatever reason exactly the time my kids go to bed. And he's like, texting me, you want to play? No. No. You want to play 2K, Striking Vipers? Whatever. And then the Uber episode. You know, the one that was like an Uber episode. That one was probably my favorite of the season. But I feel like if we might do this next week in anticipation for the big season, we might have to do a ranking of every episode. Should we do this? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like the lesbian one.
Yeah, right. And so nobody buys it.
What?
And so
what? No, I do.
Okay. And so my one little thing gnawing at me is Charlie Brooker, who's the creator, you know, he does all the episodes. He said that this season is going to stretch the parameters of what a Black Mirror episode can even be. Which I'm like, I like what a Black Mirror episode is now. I don't know I don't know how much I want these parameters to be stretched. But in the meantime, okay, that's all to come. In the meantime, while you're waiting for that, if I could give a recommendation for the weekend, I think you should leave season 3. Just dropped. I think you should leave season 3. The Driving Crooner, the Egg Game. There was I think it was episode 3. I was laughing out loud from start to finish. I could not stop. What was his name? Jelly Bean or Jelly Roll, who does theater without talking. Have you seen that sketch?
And the frat boys.
Yeah,
it's just
all he's walking to the theater and the guy goes, "We're gonna go nuts in there." It's a very, very bizarre sketch show by Tim Robinson, but it's brilliant. It's 6 episodes. I think it's 6 episodes. They're about 15 minutes each. It's the most watchable, digestible. You'll get through it all. If you watch it after this show, you'll get through them all tonight. But it's so...
The Nixon pig sketch is my favorite of so I was dying.
Well, you see, he was distracted because he was losing sleep because that swing dancer had swung his wife 7 times. What? Oh, what? Every character that he writes in
relatable.
I mean, it's so good. Except, you know why it's so relatable? The more I was watching it, the more I realized that every character that Tim Robinson writes in his sketches talks like a 6-year-old. They talk like it's such baseline. I go, why is this all so familiar? Oh, because I have children. They all go, they're all just taking social cues in the most literal ways and talking like 6-year-old children.
I'm not a fucking idiot. I know it was just a pig.
And every single sketch, it all breaks down to just him shouting curses at people. You can't bark on the street. My ponytail is stuck. It's just like, what? So good. Oh.
That's another bandwagon show.
Is it?
I got into it because of you and Travis.
Oh, because Travis and I were on the
I
group
love it.
text? Yeah, it's so good, dude.
It's very the group text is very influential to what I am watching at the time.
Because Travis and I end up on the same page a lot. And so you're like, oh, no, I like it too. I like it too. It's good. It's good. We're never going to lead you wrong. We have great taste, Travis and I. And don't
I have my friend Annie. Oh, God.
No. Annie likes the show?
No, I'm saying I have my friend Annie. She comes over, and then we go like, "What should we watch?" And I literally go, "Well, Sam and Travis are talking about. I think we should leave. Why don't we just watch that?"
We're tastemakers. We're tastemakers. That's what this show is. And I'll tell you what. At first, I was depressed because I was out of episodes of I Think You Should Leave. Like my wife was even like, I just kept clicking, watch another episode. She was like, "You're just gonna watch." She was like, I think like for me, like one episode does it. And I go, no. It builds on itself. It builds. Like you go into his world eventually to the point where you just get, have you gone through the whole season yet?
I don't think I've watched season, I've watched most of it, but not the second half of season 2.
Oh, okay.
So like a few episodes.
So you still got a few episodes. And then don't forget too, if you like, I Think You Should Leave, Eric Andre's new season comes out this week, I think.
I'm not a big fan of Eric Andre.
You don't like Eric Andre's show?
I liked his movie. I've watched a few. I watched a few of the episodes, but I saw his stand-up and like.
Don't worry about his stand-up.
I don't. Okay.
If you like his movie, you got to watch his show. You got to watch.
Okay.
But I will tell you this, Hot Dog, this is my crisis of conscience. This is what this has all been kind of building to. That I'm sitting here, right? And I watched the whole season in one shot of I Think You Should Leave. I watched Succession in real time and loved it and everything. You know what I mean? I like to figure out what's going on. For the life of me, I cannot bring myself to remotely care about Ted Lasso. I mean, it is and it makes me worried about myself as a person. It gives me like it makes me self-conscious that I'm just sitting here going like I'm getting nothing out of this show. It's like I'm looking at a blank piece of paper. Everybody talks about he's just walks. He's Jason Sudeikis. I like Jason Sudeikis. He's great. He shows up. He's a fish out of water. He's got this mustache. He's like, soft but masculine, and everything is nice. And I'm going, I can't do it, to the point where I finally tapped out. Like I was like, I can't even pretend that I enjoy watching this show anymore. And it's making me want, like, I don't know if it makes me a bad human being that I just look at this Ted Lasso show and go, there's a void of anything going on here. I just, the whole genre of really good looking people with problems, but not too bad problems, relatable problems that are pretty much going to be fine. The whole genre has escaped me. And it's just the hottest thing on television. People are like, well, what about that show where Jason Segel is like a therapist or whatever? I go, it's exactly the same show as Ted Lasso. This is the same show. It's just good-looking people who have problems, but not that big of a problem. And they're all good people. And I'm like, there's no meat on this bone. Am I crazy?
I feel like that genre was gone for a good minute, though. Maybe like the last 6 years it started coming back again, and maybe it's just back in style.
Well,
people missed it for a little bit.
What, the good people that have problems that aren't that bad?
Yeah, just kind of lighthearted, not something that you
It's
don't easy
light.
to digest.
It's light.
Yeah.
You know, the whole world is so serious. Everybody's maybe that's why, you know. Maybe I don't need Ted Lasso cuz I couldn't care less about so much stuff. Like, I mean, people are just worried about everything now. The people who were worried about Chick-fil-A are no longer worried about Chick-fil-A, and the people who love Chick-fil-A are now worried about Chick-fil-A. People are worried if they could go into Target or not. We got the president falling down on a stage. We got Florida wanting to become its own nation. We got all this stuff going on. Some reason everybody cares, and I guess they just need a break. And they go on and they go, what's this American guy going to do in the UK? He doesn't know anything about soccer. And they can just stop for a second. I don't know.
It's because you don't give a care about most of these issues.
I don't.
So you don't need an escape.
I don't.
You don't need an escape. You got wrestling already.
I got wrestling. That's true.
This isn't even an escape.
It's not an escape. It's because I go deep into wrestling. Yeah. I go way deep into wrestling. That's right. People go like, well, don't you find the world... People go like this. Don't you find the world to be a very stressful place? And I go, no. No, it doesn't seem that stressful at all. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. They go, what about the future?
You're that meme. You're that dog with the fire all over the house.
I am.
This is fine.
This is fine. Yeah. Yeah, everything seems fine. I go, it was fine yesterday. It's been fine so far today. It was fine the day before yesterday. I can only predict that tomorrow will continue to be fine. And if it's not, I'll deal with it then. If a problem comes up, I'll deal with it then.
The world is crumbling around you. I mean,
is it?
Skip and Shannon are no more.
Well, we'll talk about that. No.
Doesn't bother you?
No,
that doesn't make you want... Exactly. That doesn't make you want to go to Ted Lasso for help, for a nice little warm hug.
No, see, that's what I do. When something like Skip and Shannon happens, I go in and like absorb as much content as humanly possible. I really need to know what's going on with these two. I really need to know what's happened here. I mean, that's a good point, Hot Dog. You led me right to my next thing. Skip and Shannon. Unk has decided to leave. This is what we find out, okay? This is where we're at right now. We've talked, you guys know that I love sports media way more than sports. Sports media, I mean, I love all kinds of media, but sports media just does it for me. Just some grown-ass men arguing.
Getting emotional.
Being so emotional. Talk about an escape. Giant grown-ass men arguing about 20-something-year-old people playing games, and they're arguing so hard you can see the veins in their neck about to explode. I think it's just the greatest thing on radio, television, the internet. It's the best. I love it. I love sports media. I love people arguing. I love the whole thing.
It's one of the few things that unites us these days.
Sports media. That's right. That's right. It's the one, although, everything tries to get politicized, and this is usually, every now and then they mess up, but this is usually the one place where we can just go and go, boom, here we are. So this is one of the great shows, sports shows, arguing shows. And that's the other thing. That's the whole format of sports media now. It used to be like, the revolutionary thing was the guy on the radio by himself, and callers would call up and they'd go, hey, what do you think if they got a new coach? A new coach? What are you, stupid? And they'd yell at the callers, and you'd just sit there and you'd listen, and you're like, this is fantastic. Now they go, well, we don't always trust the callers. So what if we put this on television and we just had two guys like argue with each other about sports for a couple hours, and then after that we'll get two other guys to argue with each other about sports for a couple hours, and we'll just have them argue until one of the games starts. And you're like, yeah, that sounds awesome. So Shannon Sharpe here, Unk, and we followed Unk. He's also the guy that we saw in the airport famously, who said, who wanted a guy to just stop filming him. For real? Yeah. And then just kept filming him. Right. So there has been a tension between here, Drip Bayless, who, is the antithesis of a healthy athlete here in this photo. It's not a great photo, but next to Shannon Sharpe, who is Exactly. Everywhere he goes, he looks like he's posing for the cover of an album. He's an incredible looking man.
Three-time Super Bowl champ.
That's right.
Hall of Famer.
There's a tension that exists between these two, and that's part of it, right? Hot Dog, you're right, to bring up his athletic credentials. And that's part of the joy of sports media, right? That this dude has sitting here, and he's been on the field in the elite space. And then you got Drip Bayless over here, who's never done any of that. And they're arguing sports in such a condescending way that Skip is going like, you don't even know what you're talking about. And he's like, motherfucker, I'm the guy. I did the thing that you talk about. And still, all the Skip and the Skip's people that are like Skip are like going like, yeah, but what do you know? You're just an athlete. It's great. It's great. That's the vibe. I love it. I think they're great together.
The closest equivalent would be you to wrestling.
Yeah, but I haven't gotten
reporter, writer.
I haven't quite gotten to the point yet where I'm arguing with wrestlers about wrestling, but it would be a great show. If it was just
so
like
cocky for no reason.
Just a condescending, like a wrestler who's like imagine how different the John Cena interview would have been if he was like, the point of the business is to pay it forward. No, it isn't, John. That's not the point. People like you have been saying that ever since you started, but that's not the point of the business is to make money. And John, if you're not making money, you're not doing the business. Let's go to the calls. Like it's
How long have you been watching wrestling, John?
Yeah. Did you watch the product before you perform, John? Anyway, let's go to the calls. Like, it'd be great. It'd be great. That's what we're missing. Just a know-it-all.
Honestly,
but
yeah.
I also think Shannon Sharpe kind of comes from the world of like, I can punch people. Like you can't, there's a great equalizer here, but you can't punch people on television. You see, when you're doing a talk show, you can't punch people. And guys like Skip, they know that. So they can cross that line without a problem. And I guess some people don't like it. Shannon Sharpe, it was announced, has gotten a buyout. Fox and Shannon have figured out a buyout situation where they're going to let Unk out of his contract. He's going to be able to take his podcast with him. He's leaving Drip with no co-host, and we'll see where he goes next. It's a big coup, I think, for a lot of people in the sports media space. Shannon Sharpe is a big get for another network for sure. People love that dude. And it's a big question.
ESPN is calling. They got to be, right?
Well, yeah, unless they spent all their money on McAfee already. There's none left.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, and even I think Stephen A. Smith was talking about the fact that he has no say, because Stephen A. Smith does First Take. He has no say over who gets to co-host with him on First Take unless they work for ESPN. So like if they work for ESPN, Stephen A. can go like, I want this guy, I want that guy. But he can't go and ask for people from outside ESPN, right? Like new hires. So who knows? Maybe that's a spot for him to land. Maybe a new company picks him up, gives him a ton of money to be the anchor of some new sports media company. All the streamers are looking for live content now. I mean, I think the world is his oyster. But what I've got to
build around Shannon Sharpe.
100% you could build around Shannon Sharpe. Just put that face on. Everybody wants to go see what Unk is up to. Everyone. But what I couldn't believe was the amount of people. Not just that it was being said, because obviously it was being said. But the fact that it was like, it went without saying almost. There was no opinion other than, oh, I know why Shannon Sharpe left. A lot of times when these media empires crumble, you go, oh, what happened there? A lot of times when duos who host shows together, when they fall apart, you go, oh, what happened there? Oh, why would he want out of the contract? Why wouldn't he want to do the show anymore? Nobody's asking that question. I haven't heard that question raised once. People who don't even know are like, yeah, I mean, you got to assume it's because Skip Bayless is a dick, right? Like everyone. Like, I don't even know how to exist if I'm Skip Bayless. And it's just like, no matter who's talking about this, it's almost taken for granted that he's leaving because he doesn't like him. And he doesn't like him to the extent that he's going, you got to let me out of this contract. Now, I don't know. Maybe it doesn't bother Skip Bayless because people don't know, or at least the last that I read, nobody knows exactly how much money Shannon Sharpe is getting for this buyout. You know, he's not just quitting. He's out of his contract, but he's getting at least some of the money that he would have gotten going through. I can't imagine that Fox has just given him the whole contract because I don't know why they would do that.
Right.
But they've negotiated some kind of buyout. Apparently, Skip Bayless's last deal was a 4-year deal for $32 million. $32 million. That's how much. I mean, I got to start watching some of these games and coming up with hot takes because clearly these numbers they're throwing around for sports media is insane. $32 million. I guarantee you in 365 days, if I put my mind to it, I could watch enough games that I could be Skip. You know, I can fill that role.
Just a season. You just need a season
One
to kind of
season
get
of each.
familiar
Give me
with the
one
product.
season of each. I know enough. I know the basics, and I know how to do a show. So put all that together, and I'll get there. Plus, if people realize, if there's like literally tape of me from very recently saying I don't watch sports, and now I'm on television talking down to athletes, going like, "You're wrong. You're totally wrong." That's so obnoxious. That's awful. But it's
They're
great.
gonna be like, they're gonna pull that clip up. Like, this you?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what that was. I don't know what that was. I don't know. If you're gonna bring up old tape, you're gonna bring that's not even what we're talking about here. Will you take this seriously? But yeah, so 32 million. Skip is, I guess, going to stay. I don't know who's going to co-host with him. Now, they're expected to keep the show going until after the NBA Finals. So there's still going to be more episodes of Undisputed. I don't know if those are going to be weird. I don't know if they're just going to plow past them. I don't know if Shannon Sharpe is going to be kind of half-assed in, you know, get some of that senioritis going on. You know, senior year of high school, especially the second half. It's like Shannon Sharpe just got his college acceptance letter. And then his high school principal is like, but you're still going to take high school seriously, right? Yeah, buddy. Of course I will. Yeah, sure.
You still got a month left.
You still got a month.
You
Yeah,
behavior.
lot can happen. Sure, a lot can happen. Yeah. Yeah, they're going to keep him through the NBA Finals. I'm surprised they didn't even try to stop this from leaking, unless they did and they just couldn't. Charles Barkley had a theory. Go ahead.
I was saying Skip is going to be just fine because I'm sure there's a lot of charismatic former athletes out there that would die to be in that position with Skip, because Skip is kind of like a kingmaker. He kind of made Shannon Sharpe.
It's money.
But, you know, when it comes to
it's a giant show. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you don't want to be the I think
he's responsible for Stephen A. Smith too.
Yeah, you could argue that for sure. You don't want to be the first person after Shannon though.
No.
Right? You gotta get maybe they get some floaters in there. They get some fill-ins for a while until they land on somebody. Just because you never want to just throw somebody else in the seat and go like, okay, now he's the new guy, business as usual, because people are gonna miss Shannon. But Charles Barkley commented on it. Believe it or not, Charles Barkley usually doesn't get involved with stuff like this, but he commented on it.
I did find, I don't do social media, so I get all my information off Bleacher Report. I read an article today.
You read something?
I did.
Okay.
If you work with a damn idiot, they'll buy you out. So
I don't know who he's talking about there.
No clue.
Buy you out. So if you, I'm saying, I read it. I saw it. Chuck, I'm just saying. I'm telling you.
How good is Shaq? Chuck. What are you doing, Chuck?
Shaq, it's not you. It's not you. It's not you. It's not Ernie. It's Kenny. But apparently, if you work with a damn idiot, they'll buy you out. Okay. So I just want y'all to know, I'm open to the bow.
Charles Barkley trying to get himself a buyout.
Thank God we still have Inside the NBA.
That's the best show on television. It's the best. I don't even watch games. I just watch Inside the NBA. For Barkley and Shaq. I mean, all four of them are great. got to call him a damn idiot and ask for a buyout in the same 30 seconds. There's also a video that just floated. I think it was maybe on the I don't remember if it was Rich Eisen. It was Dan Patrick. It was on the Dan Patrick show. Charles Barkley was on the Dan Patrick show, and he was telling Dan Patrick that if he found out that he had a disease that was going to kill him, he said if he found out he was going to die, he would kill Skip Bayless, but only if he knew he was going to die. He said he doesn't want to go to jail. He does not want to go to jail, but if he had a disease, he would kill Skip Bayless.
Just taking him with him.
Yeah. So, oh, beautiful. Beautiful. If you're watching live, make sure you super chat in. Every super chat will get acknowledged here on Sam Roberts Now. Don't forget to like. Don't be stingy with the likes, by the way. Some of you're being stingy with the likes. You're being stingy with the super chats. You're just taking and taking and taking. And I feel every bit of it. Super chat in, like, subscribe.
You're not able to just pull a clip off of Twitter, are you? Because I there's a clip that's going around of people that think this was the exact moment where Skip and Shannon weren't gonna work out much longer after this. I could probably send it over, but if not, that's fine.
Yeah,
but
actually,
it was interesting to see.
Okay, at mention. Yeah, tweet it to me.
Yes.
With my at mention. Yeah, and I'll just pull it up. Oh, there's Joe falling down.
I'll give it to you.
Tell me when it's sent. I don't want to.
Yes.
You got it to me?
It's about they're talking about Tom Brady. Tom
Brady.
Second. And this was maybe like 2 months ago or so, like that. And then after that, it was the whole NFL. Remember the guy who had the concussion? That happened shortly after.
that. No, not the guy who got the concussion. You mean with the heart?
Yeah. Okay, I just tagged you in it.
Okay. By the way, BHerb76 says, fix the ads on the live stream. We're missing parts. I'm not necessarily controlling that. I mean, I'm not obviously touching anything to do that, but I'm leaving the show up, so you can just go back and watch the show later. Okay.
What do you mean that's my argument?
Your argument is...
This is what people think was the beginning of the end, huh?
Yeah, the clip's been going around ever since.
They're going to be in the playoffs. Is Tom Brady playing bad?
Oh,
yes.
I remember this one. I love this clip.
Yes.
This clip gives me energy. Like this, I can't watch an episode of Ted Lasso, but I could watch this every day. I could wake up to it. I could go to bed to it. I'll brush my teeth to it. Like this is how some people get those white noise apps and it just lets them relax. This is the type of stuff that I just need on all the time, to the point where like I have to leave the room to get my fill of it, because my family will be like, why are you just, I mean, it's just people yelling at each other on your phone all the time. And I go, it centers me. This is what centers me. Maybe it's my trauma. I don't know, but this centers me.
It seems from this clip that they worked themselves into a shoot.
Yes.
Need you to
That's your argument.
Okay,
That's your argument.
What do you mean that's my argument?
Your argument is that they're going to be in the playoffs. Is Tom Brady playing bad? Yes or no?
Yes, he played poorly yesterday.
What do you mean yesterday?
Okay,
all year.
But you're giving him 100% of the blame.
Because they asked me to
That's just you have no objectivity. It's just straight Brady hate. Wait a minute. This is just straight hate by a guy who's jealous that he's still playing at a high.
Shit. That was it. Okay, because there was a little bit of it. It got a little bit personal for a second. Like, this is just straight Brady hate. This is just, and it's like, okay, that feels like it might be a little bit personal. But when he said jealous,
now we're heading into the shoot territory.
Ooh, that might have been it. That might have been the line you don't cross. The night the line was crossed. Thanks, Tom Brady. You ruined this too.
This is just straight hate by a guy who's jealous that he's still playing at a high level at 45 when you had to stop at 35.
That's what you do.
That's the point.
That's what you do.
You had to stop at 35, he said. You had to stop at 35. Like you had, like he didn't go like, you know what? I'm done. I've accomplished. That's what an athlete wants to be able to say they did. I accomplished everything that I wanted to accomplish, and now I'm ready to hang up the pads and skip just in 1 second This is why Skip is so good, by the way, because he knows how to attack the jugular just immediately. He goes, "You're jealous because he's still playing at that level, and you had to retire at 35. Had to." Oh, it's so great. I used to love.
This is like the point.
You know what I used to love? I mean, and this is, I'm getting all jazzed up from it. When I did NXT pre-shows with Pat McAfee, go back, almost every single one, I would sneak something in where it's like, Pat, you can kind of relate to this because you went to championship games just like he's going to a championship match, but the difference between you and him is he's going to win. And it's like, why would you attack him as a football player there, Sam? Why it's such a shitty...
No need.
And it's me. Like, I'm sorry, Sam, did you ever go to a Super Bowl? Like, what?
Every time I call something into question, I'm jealous.
No,
Skip, I did what I
never
did.
said you were jealous of Baker Mayfield.
Skip, I did what I did. You make it seem like I was a bum. I'm in the effing Hall of Fame.
Okay,
Effing. He said effing. He said effing Hall of Fame. He's hanging on by a thread.
3 Super Bowls.
So what?
So what?
So what? He's all of his accomplishments and Skip says, so what?
Accomplishment.
Who cares? Big deal. Are you Tom Brady? So then shut up.
He's way better than you were.
Oh! he's way better.
So
than,
disrespectful.
he's pointing to Tom Brady on the screen and going, he's way better than you were. See, Skip is doing TV here. I know exactly what's going on.
He's still working.
100%. Skip is not feeling one emotion. He doesn't care. He's having a good time. He's the ringmaster. Okay? He's just going like, oh, this will be outrageous to say. Unc left TV world a long time ago. Unc is not on television anymore. He can't believe the disrespect he's hearing from across that table. And both of them are right, by the way.
Skip, I got to see what you do. You take personal shots.
No, I don't take personal shots. You started it.
Time out. You would take a personal shot at me.
I didn't take a personal shot at you.
Wait a minute.
What are you talking about?
Took his glasses off.
Put your glasses back on.
Can I finish? You're willing to take a personal shot at me.
You see him roll his eyes too? Oh, a lot of athletes.
So disrespectful.
A lot of athletes hated Skip after this. I think this was the clip too that Emmitt Smith started to hate Skip. Well, I think Emmitt Smith hated Skip for a long time. But like this one specifically, like this was it, that all the athletes were like, oh, we feel your rage.
To say
Any
this man
athlete
is
right now would just love to just reach out and strangle him if they could.
You know what I love too? A little ad for SmackDown running right down there. That's good timing.
Yeah,
That's real good timing.
better than me because I say he's playing bad this year.
Well, because you just
Go ahead.
you disrespect him. It's just so.
You
know what? It's beneath your
You would
dignity.
disrespect me to support him.
No, well, I'll support him over anybody because he's the greatest player who ever
moment.
played your game, and it's by
Have at
far.
it. Have at it.
Okay,
Take off,
I'm
bro.
going to have at it because I'm going to.
Because he wants to hurt him. See that?
That was the moment right there.
Look at his face. Look at his face. He wants to hurt him. He's like, what am I supposed to do here? I want to hurt this man.
You should freeze at. You have to freeze at his point where he says you would disrespect me to support him, and just see you can see the pain in Shannon's face. That's the point right there where this whole partnership ended.
I'm done. Yeah, when there it is, me. You can see
That's
it in
it.
his took his glasses off. You understand what you're doing? Because it is athletes work pretty hard to get to that space, and so to go on your own TV show and to have your legacy disrespected, I get it. I get both sides.
He's playing bad this year.
He's way better than you.
You just
Go ahead.
you disrespect him. It's just so. You know what? It's beneath your
You would
dignity.
disrespect me to support him.
No, well, I'll support him over anybody because he's the greatest player who ever
Have
played
at
your
it.
game, and it's by
Have at
far.
it. Have at it.
Okay,
Take off,
I'm
bro.
going to have at it because I'm going to have at you because what happened yesterday?
Okay, see now that was where it got complicated for Skip because he had to he realized that the show's done. Shannon's done. And Skip's like, okay, I'm gonna have at it because what about yesterday? He's like, oh boy, how do I make this a show again?
Switching gears.
Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it.
Into a shoot.
You can't work yourself into a shoot, brother. A lot of jabroni marks do that. You got to realize when a work is a work and don't work yourself into a shoot. Good night, HH. Let's switch topics ourselves now. We didn't get into this last week, but we had to get into this. I seen the gameplay. PS5 drop. PS5! By the way, new season of 90 Day the Other Way is coming on Sunday. I'm excited.
Oh.
Spider-Man 2 gameplay video dropped from Sony. 12 minutes of very exciting gameplay. A lot of questions out there. I mean, the graphics, you can even see. Look at the shininess on this symbiote. Look at, I mean, just the movement too. Did you watch the whole gameplay trailer?
Of course, come on. Of course I did.
Of course you did.
I was watching it on the little screen of my computer in the office.
I don't even play like video games like that. Honestly, I don't remember the last time I finished a game except Spider-Man. I don't know. I don't think I finished Miles Morales because I think I just jumped right into it after Spider-Man and it was like, okay, I got to play a 2K game or something like that. Plus, I don't have that much time to play games, you know? But
you like a little bit of 2K here and there, and then you like to massacre people on Grand Theft Auto.
Right. But Spider-Man works. Spider-Man is open world. If I can jump into New York City, put a little Spider-Man mask on and start jumping building to building, beat up some robbers, that's never a bad time. Fun. That's never a bad time.
No.
So Spider-Man 2, Miles Morales is the second Spider-Man game, but it was more of like a spin-off game. You know, like it wasn't a sequel. It was almost a new
something to hold you down until
like a
the
new
actual sequel.
A new skin added to that same build that they already had. This is a whole new game. Spider-Man 2, I think on PS5, and they're doing a PS4 version as well, right?
I don't think so.
Or no, they're not. I don't know.
No, because they're really trying to focus on everyone. You need to get your PS5. We're done with PS4 kind of thing. So like, it would really hamper the game down if they had to
put a PS4 version. Yeah, that's right. It's like, and it's this, and Wolverine is going to be PS5 exclusive too, right?
I think most of the games that are coming out, like especially this year, are PS5 exclusives. I think they're ditching PS4.
No. I mean, like it's not coming. Like this isn't for Xbox. You can only get it for PlayStation.
No, yeah, right.
Like Sony's got the exclusive on it. I think Wolverine as well. But this is supposed to be coming out fall 2023. You can play as Spider-Man. This is what we know from the gameplay trailer. Spider-Man and Miles. And at some point, symbiote Spider-Man. You know, Spider-Man that gets infected by the Venom. He's in it too. And the fact we haven't seen it. This is not confirmed. But the fact that you can get symbiote Spider-Man in it has led many to believe that Venom will be in this game.
Of course.
I mean, he's
probably
got
the main villain.
You would think so.
Yeah.
But like in the trailer, I guess that's not maybe, I don't know who's up there. But like what's Kraven is the one who's in the trailer as like the main villain. But Kraven might be the starting villain that leads you to the ultimate villain of Venom.
Yeah, they had a bunch of villains in the last game.
Yeah,
they had Doc Ock. They had
Rhino.
Rhino was on it.
Yeah, I had a tough time with Electro.
It'll be kind of the similar case.
I had a tough time with Electro. I'm not gonna lie about that. That was a tough one.
I'm surprised he beat the game, to be honest.
Jump, slanging web, slanging. I'm slang. You know I'm slanging. You know I'm pretty good when it comes to slanging. I don't have a problem with that.
Always slanging.
I'm always slanging. Slanging web, slanging money, slanging L's at all you haters, whatever I need to do. So the fact that this is coming out in fall 2023, Insomniac Games, obviously. Same company that made the first Spider-Man, same company that's going to make Wolverine. It's great. Great game. 10 years. You know what came out in fall 2013?
Uh-oh. Oh, boy.
Goddamn GTA 5. This drove me crazy. When I'm looking at the release date for Spider-Man 2, and it's telling me fall 2023. Now, whenever they announce a sequel to a game, First, I'm looking at all the shots. I'm watching the videos. I'm like, this looks really cool. Then I immediately, inevitably go, what's the deal with GTA? And I start going back on the calendar. When I look at fall 2023, and I go, wait a minute, when was the release date for GTA 5? It was fall 2013, September of 2013.
Man.
Everything has happened since then. It was on PS3 when it came, PS3, PS4 when it came out. PS3, there's a version of it, GTA 5. And just nothing.
I wasn't even at SiriusXM. I was a nobody working at a movie theater.
And now look at
a lot
you.
of life events between that.
You're a nobody on Sam Roberts now. It's incredible. It's incredible.
Progress.
It's incredible what you've accomplished. Yeah, dude. 10 years. I mean, dude, it's embarrassing. And they'll go like this. Well, what about all those Red Dead Redemption games? Cool. I don't care if you're the biggest Red Dead Redemption fan ever. Would you really take Red Dead Redemption 2 over GTA 6? Okay, I'll give you Red Dead Redemption 1. But did we need a sequel? Did we need 2 Red Dead Redemptions before GTA 6?
Now, Sam, but
2
but
Red Dead
Redemption 2 was great. I'm not saying
because I got 4.5 hours to learn how to go fishing. Yeah, I got that kind of time in my life. Yeah. Yeah. Do we need 2 of them?
Collect bounties.
Oh, cool, bounties. I want to blow up a blimp. Okay?
It was like Red Dead Redemption 2 was like the appetizer.
Look at the explosion Trevor made. Look at the appetizer. You said Red Dead Redemption 2 was the appetizer to GTA 6? I'm starving.
It's an app that
I'm starving. It's been so long since I finished the appetizer. I'm still waiting for the entree. Where is this GTA 6 game? I mean, the culture has changed 3 times since GTA 5 came out. I don't even know what they said, oh, I saw an article. I mean, the theories that people are coming up with because of how long they've had to wait for GTA 6. When they go, well, I guess in Red Dead Redemption 2, there's like this weird offshoot in that game where they're like at this like tropical island area, like they go to a different location. And they said the reason for that is that in GTA 6, they're going to have a bunch of different geographic locations. And so they wanted to start using and testing the sort of tropical environment that they're going to use in GTA 6 in an active game. And that's why it's in Red Dead. And I'm going, you are reaching. You are reaching.
That's a very big reach.
I mean, come on, dude. Come on.
So Red Dead Redemption 2 came out 5 years ago. So
5 years?
5 years in between, I guess, right in the middle. That was a little appetizer, but it should be coming out soon because I know you saw all the leaks that came out for GTA 6.
A year ago.
No, that came
a year ago. A year ago, I saw those leaks. They plugged it.
Right, but
no more leaks. No more leaks. How could it take this long? How could it take 10 years? It's embarrassing. How could it take 10 years to make this game? 10 years? You think, is there anything that they could do to be like, yeah, this was worth waiting a decade for? I have children.
I did see a rumor from the gaming dirt sheets that GTA 6 has a feature that, when in San Andreas, when you want to change your hair and you go to the barber shop, right?
I remember that.
Right? And you just change it whatever you want.
Yeah.
Your hair grows naturally over time in GTA 6, just like in Red Dead Redemption.
Well, if you could have given me the game without hair growth 3 years ago, I would have taken that version. I don't need the hair growth. I don't need it. I'm
But
fine.
this could be the greatest game of all time. I mean, GTA 5.
It has to be. It absolutely
yes.
has to be. There's no excuse. If it's the second greatest game of all time, it's a failure because it's been 10 years.
Have you not heard the phrase "let them cook"?
cook. It's burnt. I can smell it. The house is on fire. I mean, how long am I going to let them cook for?
Hold up, Sam. Let them cook.
How long do I have to do that
Or
for?
call Laszlo.
He doesn't even work there anymore. That's how long it's been. Okay? I was a newlywed.
Yeah, that's a long time.
I was a newlywed when GTA 5 came out. Now, I mean, we're tired of seeing each other's faces. It's been forever. I didn't even know you, Hot Dog. I don't even think I knew you.
No.
It was a better time.
I didn't have to use it.
It was a better time.
I didn't have to use. I didn't have to call up Troy for pills back then. It was a different time.
Your boners worked fine.
Yes.
Not anymore.
But you got GTA Online. You can swing into that mofo whenever you want.
I never played GTA Online. I'm not good enough for it. I get killed so quick. That's why I can't play GTA Online. I instantly get killed.
It's filled with trolls. It's amazing.
I know. I can't do it. You know what the trolls do immediately?
What?
Kill me every time. They immediately kill me, and I don't want to play that. It's annoying. So I never.
GTA 5, but every single civilian is trying to kill you.
I know it sucks. It's supposed to be the other way around. I go around killing everybody. But I can't do that in the online version. In the regular version, I can just go around killing everybody. In the online version, everybody goes around and kills me. It's terrible. I hate it.
One of these days, you should take a look at the community that GTA Online has created. There's a lot of role playing in GTA Online.
Here's what's happening. Let me tell you what's happening with this Rockstar Games. Okay. Here's what's happening. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
You have to spend money in GTA Online, right, to buy things. Like it's a, you know, you pay for GTA money, and then you buy cars and weapons and clothes and everything, right?
Houses.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And the GTA Online community is huge, right?
It's very, very active.
Very active. So that's why they're not putting out a game. Because they're like, if we could just keep people spending money in GTA 5, let's not spend all this money on a new game.
Done.
Like we did it. Like it just feeds itself now. Like every 6 months, we'll just put out a new Lamborghini or something, and we'll be fine. Throw a soundtrack
And
with
like,
Dr. Dre on it.
These losers are role playing and creating their own storylines online.
Online. What do we have to do?
That's it.
They're just letting us cook. I mean, come on. Oh.
It's coming. It's coming. You know what?
Listen to
I'll
this.
make this prediction.
Okay.
Yes.
King Buzzo
My
says.
prediction is
Okay.
GTA.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
King Buzzo says Opie and Anthony played GTA 5 together in the studio.
What? Get out.
Bro, it's embarrassing.
Come
on, dude.
Yeah.
Come on, dude. Come on.
Wow.
What's your prediction?
My prediction is that a Summer Games Fest, which is the new huge expo, GTA 6 will be announced this year.
When is it?
Summer Games Fest, I believe, is in July. Let me see. Summer Games Fest date, June 8th. 6 days.
Okay.
6 days.
So
In 6
next
days,
next
GTA
week
6 will be announced.
Next week on
Next
Sam
week.
Roberts Now, we find out if GTA has been announced.
I have that prediction.
I'm writing it down.
Oh, it's gonna be. Oh my god, so close.
Well, speaking of expos, before we head out, Monday is the WWDC, the Worldwide Developers Conference. This is where Apple always goes to show off their new stuff and give their keynotes and everything. Now, look, Apple, they have not had the same kind of pizzazz that they once did since Steve Jobs left this plane of existence. Steve Jobs was a product and design-centered person. Everything was about the product and the design and just moving stuff forward. Tim Cook is more of a bottom line profits guy. And look, Both have been extremely effective at what they do. Steve Jobs, product-wise, revolutionized the way we do everything when it comes to electronics. Tim Cook has made Apple more profitable than anybody could have ever imagined. It was profitable under Steve Jobs, but not like Tim Cook. Now, for instance, different people do things different ways. The Apple event is going to be broadcast on YouTube Live. There is no way Steve Jobs would have ever allowed an Apple event to be broadcast on YouTube Live. YouTube Live is a Google product. He would have said, nope, it's going to be on our servers or no servers. And they're going to be like, we don't have this, like, YouTube is built for this. He's like, well, we need to build this. And they go, the thing's tomorrow. The thing's tomorrow. And this is what Steve Jobs would say. If I told you that building a server that could handle this type of capacity, this type of traffic, could save a person's life, could you do it? And they go, I mean, I guess if it were to save a person's life, then do it. Let's go. And then you walk out the room. And you're like, what did I...
I want Apple Tube.
yeah.
Apple Tube on my desk by Thursday.
iTube.
Ooh.
iTube.
Wow. There you go.
Right? And this is, and people say, but people go, Apple has become so much of a more of a services company than a product company, right? With iCloud and with Apple Music and all this stuff. But
Apple
that was
TV,
also, yeah.
Ted
Apple
Lasso.
TV, yep, Ted Lasso. But that was also Steve Jobs' vision. Before Steve Jobs died, iCloud was his baby. He'd done Mobile Me, and then he fired the guy who did Mobile Me because it sucked. But then he was around when iCloud started, and he saw this as your devices just being devices and the hub being in the cloud. That was all stuff that Steve did. But I say all this to say that really since Steve passed, we've gotten AirPods, which have been great. AirPods are great. And
Love 'em.
the watch. That's pretty much, in terms of like big things, that's what we've got. Now, the other thing is they also don't have Johnny Ive anymore. Johnny Ive was the head designer. He was said to have the most power at Apple only under Steve. And he was the one.
Where'd he go?
Well, I think that he and the new management just didn't see eye to eye on things. So he left. Him and Steve were partners. The company not being so product focused, and the fact that the head of the company is not sitting there with the designers having lunch every single day, it's probably like, okay, this ain't the place for me anymore. But all that's to say, the heavy rumor is that on Monday, Apple will drop their new product. This is the rumor of what we're...
New product. What the fuck?
This is the rumor, okay? This is like a design. These are not official images. This is not a product images. These are created. But Apple is apparently, the heavy rumor is that they are getting into the augmented reality game. That they are going to put out an augmented reality, virtual reality, whatever you want to say, VR headset. They're going to announce it on Monday, and then I guess it'll be out in a few months from there. But they're saying, like, it's going to be glass in the front. So, I mean, this kind of looks like what Apple's, like, headphones and stuff look like. I could see that. And this thing over here looks like what the Apple headphone speaker cover looks like. I'm sure they did all that on purpose when they put this all together. But they say, like, this front has, like, 12 cameras and LiDAR detection built in. So you can do total...
Tell the truth.
AR and... What'd you just say? I feel like Shannon Sharpe right now. What'd you just say?
Nothing.
You made a joke about LiDAR. What was the joke?
You gotta tell the truth.
Yep, that was it. They're saying that these things are going to have dual 4K, so dual because it'll be in either one, micro OLED displays with 5,000 nits of brightness, 4,000 pixels per inch, over a dozen cameras for monitoring facial expressions, hand gestures, and mapping the environment. That sounds a little scary when you say it like that. Iris scanning authentication, which that would make sense. Like, you know how iPhones have like facial recognition. They would scan your eyes. So you would put it on, and that's how you would log into your device. It would scan your eyeballs, which is what they do on, like, if you got Clear at the airport and you go through Clear, they scan your eye. You know, it's not the craziest thing. Virtual and augmented reality capabilities with digital crown to swap modes. M2 chips. Woo, putting M2 in this. Including high-end main processor and lower-end processor sensors. Apparently, they're going to have their own operating system with 3D optimized apps and an option to run existing iPad apps. So, like, when the iPad first came out, developers were encouraged to make iPad apps. But iPhone apps would still work on your iPad. It would just be like an iPhone-sized screen on your iPad, or it would be totally blown up. So I guess the idea is that you use this not just to play games, but to do all the stuff that you do on your iPad. Air typing and hand gesture-based controls is what they're saying. Rumors. And this bothers me. Like, this is amazing, right? Like, theoretically, this would be your computer, and you're just air typing and whatever. This says external battery pack worn on the hip. I'm not doing that. That sounds lame. That sounds awful. To have your little battery pack, like it's like 2006 and you got your phone like strapped to your belt. You can't be walking around like that. I don't know about this, man. I mean, we're so used to doing multiple things on multiple devices. Like, and they're saying it's going to cost like $3,000. They're going to make them in 128 gigs and 256 gigs. And they'll run for like $3,000. These are all just the rumors. We'll find out on Monday if they're even true. But, I mean, we're so used to, and we see it in, it's the most memed thing ever. Multiple screens on at the same time. On Sunday, I was watching 2 wrestling pay-per-views. I had one of the pay-per-views on my iPad, and then right behind the iPad on the TV, I had another pay-per-view on. I'm talking to a person over here. Like, you're doing multiple things at once. That's the thing, unless this front part here can also go transparent somehow. So you could see the computer and then also what's in front of you. This doesn't allow for any multitasking besides the multitasking that can happen on the device itself. Which to me is like, I don't know if you want to go all the way into computer world like that.
Also, I mean, like, for what? If it's not going to be games, for Twitter? You're going to do all this so it could be on Twitter? Completely, like...
The way this rumor thing was described, it was like, you'll do anything you would do on a phone or an iPad, you'll do on these goggles. You ever see that Black Mirror where the guy... You see that Black Mirror where the guy does virtual reality and it fucks him up good?
But we've been trying virtual reality now for like years, maybe like 10 years now. Every other company has a headset.
Well, this is my question, right? How good could this be if Zuckerberg can't even do legs? How good?
That's right.
How good can Apple's augmented reality be if Zuckerberg can't even get legs in the metaverse? They almost went out of business. They had to just say, forget it. We're not doing it because we can't figure out the legs. Meanwhile, Tim Cook is like, well, dude, if Apple shows up and they've got augmented reality with legs, Zuckerberg is going to be seething. You know how pissed that dude's going to be? How'd you figure out how to do it with legs? Those are secrets. Those are our trade secrets.
Remember Jordan Peele using the VR for Nope? The MetaQuest?
Jordan Peele, it was embarrassing. He knew. You've seen Key and Peele. Jordan Peele is a very observant guy. He knew how much that thing sucked. Like, it was terrible. Can you imagine if Apple is that far advanced beyond what Facebook is capable of? Zuckerberg's going to have a fit. And you know why that is? Tim Cook is not running around taking jujitsu classes and windsurfing. Here's what happened, okay? I'll tell you exactly what happened here. Zuckerberg went in head first into this technology world, right? He created Facebook while he was still in college. He's like 19, 20 years old, okay? And then he drops out of college and it's just Facebook all the time. He changes everything. He revolutionizes social media. But what he doesn't do is have a life outside of Facebook. So now all of a sudden, he wants to go windsurfing and take jujitsu classes and wear a bunch of sunscreen. Well, guess what? While you're out there windsurfing, my man Tim Cook is putting legs on virtual reality. Now what? That's the problem.
I mean, Zuckerberg changed the whole name of the company. It was Facebook. It changed into Meta.
Exactly. And you know what, Tim? You know what?
And he couldn't even get legs right.
He couldn't get legs on. Tim Cook said this. He goes, "You call your company Meta, I'm gonna call my company Beta." What you think of that?
Bars.
Beta. And then Zuckerberg could hit him back. He goes, "Oh, actually, you spelled Beta. You named your company Beta." Tim Cook is just shaking his head. Why didn't anybody tell me this? You know, why didn't anybody tell me this? I'm interested to see it, baby. I'm interested to see.
I don't have much hope.
What?
But I am interested. I don't have much hope in the. I think VR has been tried a million times already, and it's not a failure, but it's just like a side project. It's not the main way anyone's gonna consume stuff.
What if it had legs?
Is it still gonna look like Nintendo 64?
But with legs.
Oh, I think Nintendo 64 had legs. I think.
Huh. I'll have to look into that. I'll get you back on that next week.
Yeah.
Man.
Okay.
A lot going on next week. Nintendo 64 with legs and the confirmation of GTA 6. Amazing stuff. Amazing stuff. Hey, man. Super chat in. You guys are getting real stingy on the super chats, getting a little better on the likes, but I think you could do better on the likes.
We've been preempted.
That's not what. It's
That's
not true.
why.
We're on the air. We're also changing the way again. I'm tinkering all weekend. I've been tinkering. I mean, all week. I've been tinkering with workflow situations. We are going to leave Sam Roberts Now up, the live version. I'm not going to pull it down and repost it anymore. So going forward, at least for the time being, until I change my mind, this show will stay up. So tell your friends about it. The link will be active. It'll be great. Let's go. Sal says, Sam, don't sleep on the Ultimate Lesbian Edition. I'm assuming he's talking about Black Mirror. I got a lot of Black Mirror episodes to watch to give a full analysis of where they rank. Hopefully next week, unless something happens next week that we absolutely have to cover. B-Herb.
I'll go through a list online, and I'll tell you what my favorites are as well.
Whichever list is the most popular.
Yeah.
B-Herb, F, Marry, Kill, Ted Lasso, Ted Sheckler, Ted Bundy. I'll probably marry Ted Sheckler because the shout-outs to the Hip-Hop Nation. And look, man, I find Ted Lasso annoying, and I find Zac Efron to be gorgeous. So I guess I got to F Ted Bundy
What?
and kill Ted Lasso, right?
Just watch yourself. That's all.
Exactly. I just sleep one eye up, and I'll be fine. E-Rock. I don't think this is a real E-Rock. Who were the EPs after Steve C?
What's in my cup?
Who were the EPs after Steve C aside from me? The Opie and Anthony executive producers. I believe after Steve C, I believe Travis was the first. I don't think E-Rock ever achieved the rank of executive producer. And I was the final one. I don't remember if there was any executive producer between Travis and myself. But I'm pretty sure Travis was after Steve C. I know he was the EP. And I know I was the last one. But I was pretty checked out by then, so I was probably not the best one. I was the best producer. I don't know if I was the best EP, though. I was pretty checked out. Hot Dog saw me when I was the EP
Barely did. I barely saw you.
because I was pretty checked out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was all about delegation. That was my style. And Zetar sends some hearts. I appreciate the hearts. Appreciate you guys. Thank you all for hanging out. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit the like. Do the whole thing. Whatever you want. I don't care what you do. Just do it. Just do something. Do something.
I care. I care. Do all of it. Please, for me. My family needs it.
Your family's paying attention?
Mi familia they're watching back there in my home country.
Good. I'm just glad to hear they got internet, man. Shout outs to them. Shout outs to the Martes. You got 5 styluses. You might as well use them. We'll see you next week. I'm going to cheers with you later.